is the premiere not showing here off?
Maybe because it isn't working. You never, anytime you do anything with YouTube, it's a new feature where you can take something from members only. What the heck?
I can't see the. Oh yeah, there is something. Ah, I think there is a premiere, but you haven't done it as live event, which means there is not a chat and anything like that. So you can basically success stories in rescue. That's the live stream, I guess.
Yep, that's the title.
Excellent. So at least I'm there. So hello everybody. We had a little technical difficulties and confusions, but here we are. We hope you have found the way to us, maybe from the premiere, which has just started.
Arr. Is that so? Is that so, KK Bird? Yeah, you're happy I'm a day late doing your beak, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah.
So, and our first chat has arrived. It's Chairman Jamie saying hello, everybody. So, hello, Chairman.
Hey,
Good to have you here.
hello. Hello. Hello, says KK.
Yeah, I heard a hello echo. That was KK. He was a chatterbox yesterday. He called himself a big bird.
You are a big bird, aren't you? Are you a big bird? The hammerhead. Hammerhead cockatoo. Rare cockatoo, a hammerhead.
Mm. I love their way they can build up foreign languages, like the human language, for example, English, by exact pretty much the same way little children do when they just experience like, oh, there's a sentence, I am a big boy, I'm a good boy, or so, plugging in different adjectives, words that are fitting. And the cake is definitely one who actually can speak in full sentences. So
Yeah, he is. He's quite the talker. He doesn't talk loudly though. He can make himself known loudly when he wants to, but what's with you over there? He's a little bit you can see he's trying to regurgitate. A little overdone, aren't you, kid?
oh no.
Yeah, I caught Snowball, a little video I just put up. It's only, I think it's 22 seconds long, but he makes it look like he's going from one frisbee to another, but actually he was looking for a better position so he could look at Jasmine. So I caught him being a voyeur,
Yeah,
which he
he
does
loves
well.
watching the Moluccans.
Yeah, see, he's just a little wound up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need Lorelai getting over there. No, Lorelai. No, leave him alone. Thanks. Just give him a break for a while. He's a little wound up already. I don't need you in there. You're not going to make anything better. I know you. You don't make those things better. You're cute. You're a sweet girl, but you can wind up somebody tighter than a drum. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. So Falcons who joined us and wishing Chatters, Maudstone, and Hooligans a happy Monday. Then Lisa Banerjee is here. Welcome, Lisa.
Hello. Say hello. AK, say hello. Okay, that's as close as we get. A little chuckle and a hello. Lorelai, no, no, Lorelai, no. Now you laugh at me. Just got to keep you calm because he's a little wound up. We don't need any kind of altercations or any other machinations. Snowball, I straightened that out. Are you going to make your little tent there again? Hmm? Let's drag some paper over there now. So I put a new piece of perch on there for her. And of course, the first thing she does before she even climbs on it is she cuts a piece of the perch off.
Well, she
Right?
wanted to check if it's a quality perch.
You're not happy with the quality of the perch, are you? Hmm? It peels off too easily. I put a new 2x4, the big
Mhm.
perch in Romeo's cage, and he immediately started chewing it up. So I don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah. But Sugar shows, I think, normal bird behavior when she chews up her perch.
Yeah.
It's
Well, the
it's
thing
just not
about
normal shuk behavior because most of the time we have her, she didn't do it. She just changed her mind, I don't know, about a year ago or something like that. Maybe half a
yeah,
year, I don't know. Back until then, it was quite an event when Sugar started to play. She was always a secret player when nobody was there, no camera, nothing. I like Jasmine sitting up there, high on the pole.
yeah, she's got several positions she likes to sit in. She doesn't sit in that one
Mm.
that often, but and she likes to do her gymnastics right there. So
But at least they're quite busy today. I think in a long time people haven't seen Jasmine that active.
I sure have, but not when we're doing the videos. This is normally her sleeping time, so she's pretty up and running around now.
Mhm.
Arr,
Keep
arr, arr.
training with Sugarbird.
Lorelai wants to be active, don't you, Lorelai? But
Yeah.
she's over here on my side, like, he won't let me do anything. Yeah, you can do almost everything, but go over to KK and bother him. That's what she wants to do, so she'll sit by her dad because I won't let her. You have to keep her on her wraps when you bring her out at first. So. Dad's bird. Well, I've seen something just opposite of what is expected today because I put a new perch into Romeo's cage, which he immediately started ripping the perch apart. But he also overnight started ripping out some of his feathers. So it is a well-known maxim that you can reduce the amount of feather picking by putting something in their cage for them to chew on. And Romeo is just proving that maxim as blatantly as you can. Put something in there new that he really wants to chew on, and he turns around and starts pulling his feathers too. So,
So Lisa has a question. She wanted to know where Cecil is.
um, Cecil, I have to limit the amount of time Cecil has around Lorelei. So he's in the other room. I can bring him out though. I just have to make sure he doesn't get to Sugar's tablet. Hi, Lorelei. I'm gonna go get your mate here. You want to sit up here for a second? Sit up there. Nah. I'll be right back, guys. Be good. Be good. Don't do it, Lorelei. Lorelei. No, don't do it.
So
Romeo's
big
movie
shout
is
out to
over.
Lisa Banerjee who made it possible that Cecil can come. Hush, Cecil. Be grateful. Say hi. Hello. Probably not. maybe he bashes Don. I think that's equivalent.
Come on, come on.
How he made himself big. Ah, Cecil. And there we get a glimpse of Pippa. Oh, a Triton glimpse. Mm. Look, Cecil, you're back in the room.
Nice Cecil bird. Hey boy, how you doing? Hmm?
So, Lisa, there's the Cecil. Oh, Cecil, I love you.
He's a good bird. He's been missing Lorelei, so you have to balance the amount of time he has out with Lorelei. That's it can be an issue, but he is certainly a success story. When I first got him, he was almost catatonic. I didn't to look at him, you would think he was more of a stuffed bird than an actual parrot, right, Cecil? This is how bad the situation is when it comes to finding homes for these guys. The people who brought him down had to drive 5 hours to get to us. And you never can really believe the stories, but the stories was that he was at a rescue. He was at a no, he was at a place where they were breeding birds, somebody who just started breeding birds, and he wasn't laying eggs, so they got rid of him, of course. Yeah, they got rid of him. In the first few weeks I had him, I thought he was a female too, because that's what I was told, but DNA came back as male, and he's about as male as you can get. It was about 6 months before his personality started flowering. Or personalities, you've got more than one. You've got more than one personality. Yes, you do. Ah, boy.
So, welcome, Giselle Lost New York. Good to see you, Giselle.
Hello. You got any hellos left in there, KK? Mhm.
Not sure. Oh, Cecil, are you a success story?
What do you think, Cecil? What do you think, Cecil? Huh? Hug. Cecil hug. Cecil hug. Lorelei, she was bound to be sold to a bird store, not known for caring for him anything except how much money they make. And it would have happened. What would have happened is when she reached adulthood, she started ripping her feathers out. And if she'd been with anybody else who doesn't understand about proper medicine and stuff, she'd be a plucked bird right now. And it's not to say I haven't tried to take her off the medicine. I tried once. It lasted about a month, and then there was nothing but feathers all over the cage. It took about 6 months for her to get her feathers back. Right, Lorelai? Mm-hmm.
Do we know how
Mm-hmm.
old Cecil is?
Well, not sure about it actually, but around 14 or a little older. But again, he came from what the story goes. He came from a breeder and went to someone, and they weren't taking care of him, and somebody else saw that, and they took him, and then they took him just to try to find somebody who would take him in. So that's the story I got. So it's hard to know exactly how old he is. He did look pretty young when I got him. You did. You did. You looked young. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're a good boy. And of course, there's that one up there, Sugar. She was quite the success story. She was bound to go to a place where, at the time, the one running it was taking birds that were plucking, and she was all torn up. I mean, she was a mess. I've got pictures of it, but and some videos of her when she was all torn up. But their policy there was to take the relinquishment fee, and if they weren't good-looking birds, uh, they would put them in a inside facility where they never got to see the light. So I picked her up. I was at the vet with two birds, and one of the workers there I know well. He came up to me and said, "I'd like you to see something." And she took me in to see her in a dog carrying case. I've got a picture of her face. Then it's she had this wonderful face like she does now, and just torn up body behind it. And they asked me if I would take her so that she didn't have to go to this place that wasn't going to was basically going to stick her in a room and just that would be that, in a cage and off to the side. And apparently that facility now that she was going to a few years later, the owner was murdered, and his wife took it over and turned it into a nonprofit. And apparently they have birds out there now have that aren't perfect, birds that are missing feathers, birds that are I haven't been there, but birds that are damaged in other ways. They're all out for everybody to see, which is good to hear. But it took a long time to get her, to, just to get her to eat good food. When she came to me, she was eating frosted flakes and things like that, weren't
Oh
you?
yeah. Sugar had probably the worst diet ever of all cockatoos who came to Don.
It's hard to say if an all seed diet or an all cereal diet, which is basically made from seeds anyway, and which is worse. But certainly sugar and heavy salt weren't good for her.
Mm.
I keep saying her name. She's looking at me like, "Is he going to pet me?" No, he's not. I can tell.
And she has a visitor on her perch.
Yeah, she's got Jazz over there. That doesn't happen too often yet.
Nope. But
Jasmine was,
usually the aunties get along quite well. And then we have our new chat here. It's Sander Bing, who says, Mr. Scott, you walked into your calling, caring and giving new life to these beautiful birds.
thank you. Yeah, I definitely, I appreciate being able to do this on a daily basis. Most people wouldn't want to give up their holidays. You don't get any holidays. You work every day. It's just a everyday thing. But I I like working with them and seeing them come around. Hi, I see that. See you looking at me now, Jazz, Jazzy Jazz Bird. Lorelai, you taking the elevator? Lorelai's taking the elevator. When she came, she was chewing holes in her chest, Jasmine, and I hardly got. They wouldn't tell me much about her either. All I heard that day is, "Oh, don't let her sit on your shoulder. She bites." You know, that's all they could really tell me. They didn't know much about her. Although they said that they had known her for a long time, I got nothing out of them. And the first couple of weeks were really tough with her. I had to give her medicine 3 times a day, and she ran around like a crazy bird from the moment I got her. I mean, she obviously liked me when she came right over to me, but in the cage, she was trying to hang herself on the toys, and I had to keep trying to find ways to put toys. Basically, I ended up just giving her foot toys because she would hang herself like she was trying to commit suicide. She'd actually wind chain around her neck and wind leather strips around her neck, and then I'd keep going by her cage and I'd see her wound up again. And finally, I within the first couple of days, I had to get rid of all those toys. I took them out at night, tried putting them in the day, and it took about a month before I could hang a toy in there again. So I just made her foot toys. Didn't take too long. About 2 months, she completely stopped chewing her chest, and the feathers came back in. You will see her occasionally. You will see her like beak at her chest area. That's where she used to mutilate. But she just tends to preen there. I have to watch her closely though. But I've only had one incident since then. Or with Sugar, there was 3 major incidents. With her, it was only one minor one. But who's to say she might not be alive because she would have died from infection. This is something about the feather destructive behavior, especially when it'll eventually turn into mutilation for most birds. It may take years, might happen in weeks. But once they expose their skin, then it could die from infection. And of course, with Sugar, she tends to go for her wings where she can just bleed to death. That's like taking a hose, putting a cap on one end and then cutting a hole in the hose and watching the water spray out. That's pretty much how the blood comes out of a blood feather. So, but this one, she tends to chew to her chest, so you just have to keep watching it. She's pretty happy though. All right, Lorelai, you're too wound up. Come on. No, don't laugh at me. She gives that little chuckle. She goes, eh, eh.
It's lovely to
Cecil.
see the aunties sitting next to each other. Two pink ladies.
You can see the difference between the umbrellas and the serum cockatoo is also called the Moluccan cockatoos. So if those were umbrellas, they'd be sitting right next to each other.
Or onto each other.
Dis Yeah,
Fusion.
or literally, yeah, on each other, preening each other, that kind of thing. But when you get the Moluccans, there's always a little distance.
That's so funny.
They've got the social distancing thing down. They just need masks now. What are you doing down there? Oh, you just about made the hole again so you can climb under, huh?
Oh, that's Snowball's new hobby.
Yep, that's he likes doing that now. Not as much as playing frisbee, but he does like doing that. He got caught yesterday though, and I got it up on a short video where he looks like he's just going from one frisbee to another, but actually he's repositioning himself so he can look up at Jazz. Yeah, I caught you. I did. I caught a snowball. Sneaking snowball. Hey, snowball. Hey, big boy. He basically came from people who didn't have time for him. What it really came down to. back in the days when we were trying to rescue and rehome, it's not doesn't work. And quite often, you're sending them to a place where it's going to be worse than where they came from. And no matter what you tried to do, we had a few lucky rescue or rehomings, but I say lucky because no matter you do your best, you go and look at their place, you make sure they don't have any Teflon, they don't, you know, they don't have any. It's not a dangerous environment. They don't have white carpet. People who have white carpet are going to be on their birds for just doing what comes naturally. They have to go to the bathroom on occasion. It's hard to clean white carpet. So you have to check the place out to see if it's safe. You go through the list, you check with the people, which not that many people know enough to really care for them, but you can give them education, a couple of classes, and they still can't do it. He went
Mm.
to the same person twice who fostered him for a while and then gave him back and then, oh, I've got to have him, and then gave him back again. So that's when we formed the rule: if a foster home or someone who had adopted a bird gave them back, they couldn't ask for the bird back again. So, but he's got a limp. He has, if you watch him, he limps. He has a tendency for overgrowth of one of the pads on his foot, which I have to Dremel with a diamond bit. He lets me know. That's the nice thing about a Dremel. They let you know when you start to hit the nerves. So you Dremel until they kind of show you that, whoops, it's starting to hurt. So you can kind of see the limp. You want to come up? You can come up and see me if you want. You want to come up here? He's funny. He usually won't. Once he's on a bar like that, he'll hold on to it. He's been like that since I first met him.
Snowball, are you so cute?
So the
What
first
has
thing you
the
try to
weather
do is
forecast said to us? Snow is coming. Snow, 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 snow. And
snowball.
and
Yeah.
Dawn is still arguing me it's summer. Technically, yes.
Yes. Well, you're going back historically. I don't think if you go back 100 years, you won't find anybody saying that it's summer now because they went by the sun, by the
Hmm.
equinoxes and the solstices. So, but weathermen do it differently. So he has a different gait in that foot. But the first thing you try to do is take care of the physical problems and assess the emotional problems, and then try to behavioral problems. And then you get the physical problems fixed, and then you work on the emotional ones. He likes to play. That's one thing. I have to play with him every day, or he gets upset. You walk by his cage and he'll throw a frisbee out at you because he has a whole bunch of frisbees. He'll take one and toss it like, "Come on, let's play, let's play, let's play." They're social animals. It's tough with the umbrellas to give them enough to play with, enough stimulation, and just toys aren't enough either. See how he walks? There's a funny gait to the way he walks. I used to think it was that pad on his foot, but I don't believe that anymore. He's got an X-ray would probably show that he has some kind of a problem with his leg, but it was broken once or something like that. But he
Snow
gets along
Songbird.
fine. He's been
We
like
have
that since we.
we have a question in the chat.
Sure.
Um, yeah, Thunderbing would like to know, or is asking, on the average, what does a good size cage cost?
If you're talking about for a full-size parrot, I mean like an
That's yeah. Well, let's assume for a really big parrot like cockatoos or macaws.
I know what they used to cost. I think they've gone up quite a bit now. Yeah. When they tell you that the inflation in the United States is at whatever 8% or something, they are lying. I think. Let me see. Let's see if I can look that up because I like the king's cages. No, I don't get paid to say that. Although when I got let's see, when I got there we go. When I got Romeo and Bob their cages, they gave us a special, and we paid $900 for the one of the largest cages you can buy. But these days, let's see, bird cages, large bird cages,
It's a, oh, he's asking for a cockatoo cage, or she.
cockatoo cage. That would be trying to find it in here.
But as you said, it was 900 once, 1,000. I think even budgie cage. I don't know how the dollar euro relation is at the moment. It's, I don't know, changing a lot
But
compared to
uh,
former
about
times.
about $1,200 um, for a 40 by 32 by 74-inch tall cage,
Mm.
and triple that, anywhere from double to triple if you want to do it in stainless steel. So
Stainless steel is especially for birds like Cecil or Barbaloo, who are basically breakout artists and know how to get out of the bead welded.
yeah, tack welding. There's two different kinds of welds. A bead, they actually take a piece of metal and they bead the joint together. Um, Tack welding is when they don't add anything to it; they just tack the two pieces of metal together using an arc welder. Um, okay, you guys, that's too cute. I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, look at that cuddle puddle. That are actually three umbrellas.
Yeah, there's umbrellas for you, and there's serum
Yep,
cockatoos. Serum umbrella.
umbrella and serum density.
You know, sometimes it looks like that on my chest. I'll be sitting on my shoulders, my chest, and my legs, and I'll have just umbrella city. Yeah, and there's no way to know if you're getting a bird whether or not that bird's going to turn around and start breaking the bars. Um, I have two birds that do that here. One's KK, and the other one is Cecil. Bob did it one time to his cage on the base of the cage where the grate is. He broke one of the bars on the grate. So I have wood over it. Was close to the edge of the cage, so I put a 2x4 there from an old one from Romeo's cage because he likes to be artistic and creative. And then I put some other wood on it to keep him from doing it again. But that's unusual for him to try that. But Cecil, if you put him into Bob's cage, he'd have that thing apart in no time at all. Takes him about 20 minutes to break the bars on those. And any cockatoo, macaw, any large cockatoo, the goffin's not going to do that, but umbrellas and serums and any other like black cockatoos, that kind of thing that are kind of hard to find here, but they can tear apart a cage. So if you did buy a cage that your bird started tearing it apart, what you can do, it's going to end up costing quite a bit, but you can have it acid washed so they take off all the powder coating, and then you can have it welded all the way down, bead welded, or you can learn how to arc weld yourself. Um, uh, I see. So you want my attention? Why? Three's not enough. Three's not enough. You need me too. He just tapped my arm like, "Can't you pet me?" Good grief, you are nuts. You know that? You're cute though. You are. More or less fixated on preening now. Yeah, that's something you never know too, whether a bird's going to do that with Cecil. He's you can't put him in a cage that isn't bead welded. Well, you can, but he'll get out. He'll break the bars off of it. Bob will do that too if the bars are small. You need larger bars on them. That bar right there. Stop it, Cecil. Bars on here are they're harder to break, and the reason is they go inside this. They actually like they go into holes and they're inside there, but they can break the tack welds where they're tack welded because they're tack welded here and there. So, see, so what's up, buddy? What's up?
So in the meantime, we can greet a couple of new chatters. So we have Jocelyn Driggle who joined us. Welcome, Jocelyn. And then Rosebud Atkins here saying, hello, I'm late. We're happy you're here.
Hi, Rosebud. Lucy, she was at a veterinary office, a veterinary hospital, and they got bought out by one of these big corporations that goes around buying veterinary offices. And they said we don't want any animals on the premises with where we're not making money on them. So she had to go. So I got called. Will you take Lucy? And it's taken a while. It's taken a while to get her beak to normal because they were flattening it. They had her out greeting people, so they were more afraid of a lawsuit than they were of making her beak normal. So they flattened her up her beak, and they never gave her medicine to take care of her plucking problem, so she can't grow the feathers back on her chest. But she has her primaries and secondaries back now. So right, Luce? Because I'm sleeping. Don't bug me. This is the sleepy time of day. So, but she's a pretty happy girl when she's not sleeping.
So
So
Rosebud
she's
would
been
like
a
to know how Sugar is doing. So maybe you can give a tiny update.
yeah, Sugar's doing fine. She's now preening that area and cleaning it up where she had the blood feather. So it's always spooky to pull a blood feather on her because half of the time you get it doesn't come out right because her follicles or they just haven't been right because she was so torn up for so long. There was a vet that Dr. Loudis who had simply read a couple of veterinarians who tried giving massive doses of anti-inflammatory for 3 weeks to birds that had problems growing normal feathers, and that after that she started having normal feathers. So, but they don't. There's still problems at the base sometimes. You have to watch closely for blood feathers. I wish I'd caught that one a little earlier, but she's doing great, aren't you? He's like, yep. I'm gonna choose something up now. She might be exhibiting a little bit more activity because someone is sitting on her perch. Nice going, Shug. You guys, this is too much of a pile here. You guys can't.
No.
He doesn't need everybody piled on him. Come on.
Wait, Lorelai and Cecil want to sit on KK.
Yeah,
Come
there's a
on.
limit to how many. You guys can't
Yeah.
pile so like that. It's not right. It's okay. I just don't want everybody piled on him. You know, he would like to be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
Silly birds.
Good that KK is so relaxed.
Yeah, he's another big success. He came all the way. He was in Nevada, then he went to a home in Alaska. Then he came back to Nevada after his caretaker died. Unfortunately, I had been talking to Michael, and Michael wanted him to come here. They only found that out because it was in his texting. They were looking at his phone and they saw that he was talking to me about that. And I convinced them to send him here because they were going to send him to a place where it's an outside aviary during the winter, in the summer, and they have him inside. But they just have all the birds together, and I don't. He wouldn't handle that well, not with his severe feather plucking. He still gets a little bit of Haldol every day to keep him from tearing up his feathers. They're getting better, but on and off. I got him off the medicine for a while, but not going to work. He has to have some medicine. And Michael had sent me a picture of him. Probably could find that, but where it's like one day he'd ripped off almost all the feathers he could reach. There's a huge pile of feathers. So you got to watch him close. With him, he starts on his primaries, so you know where they you have to know where they start and when to start giving them a little more toys to play with, but you have to also up their medicine a little bit. So, hi, Cecil. Now, I'm not singling you out, but you're on the top of the pile. It's okay as long as you guys can leave him room to breathe. Okay? No, have to climb on him. He doesn't like that much. What I mean by doesn't like it is if he climbs on top of him after a while, and KK will try to get out, and then KK will start to get aggressive. Leave me alone.
Oh, it's
Start showing
Jasmine
his
back
neck.
up on the pole.
Yep,
Yep. Super
that's our pole
active Jasmine
dancer.
today.
Jazzy Jazzbird.
And greetings to Buktia Shah, who is in chat.
Snowball.
Beautiful
Uh,
guys.
and Pippa, who's not in here, but she's a Triton. She had been through a lot of trouble. Her caretaker decided to take off and go to South America. Never came back for her. And the guy who she was left with tried to take care of her. Then he tried to find someone who would take her, but one of the things he had to do is take her to the vet. This happened before he contacted me, and they did X-rays and they found out she'd swallowed lead. They had to do surgery and take it out. And she had one titer of psittacosis, so had to wait 3 weeks and retest her to make sure she didn't have it, that she had been exposed but didn't actually have it. She went through all that, and then she had to come down from another 4 or 5 hour trip down to us. Fortunately, she liked me the moment she saw me, so jumped right over. But she was pretty torn up. Took a while to get her feathers back to normal, get her to start acting like a normal bird. Now she talks, says that's right, and hello. Yeah, I caught you saying hello too. I wasn't pointing the camera at you. Yeah. You can say hello. Hello,
He
Cecil.
can, or anyone can see say hello to Warm Fuzzy Vibes who just joined in chat.
Hello, warm fuzzy vibes. Hi, Cecil. Cecil bird. So she had quite the journey. I have to applaud the guy who brought her down, though. I mean, he tried to get her in here first by telling me that there was really nothing wrong with her. Yeah, because apparently he tried many other places, and as soon as they said she was picking her feathers and she'd had to have surgery for the lead, they wouldn't even talk to him. So it was just the opposite with us. Just I take in the ones nobody else wants, and they're hard to take care of. So you guys, umbrella puddles. Cecil, watch where you put your face. And Babaloo, when I got him, when he was relinquished, the people who were signing the papers for relinquishment, I've never seen anybody who looked happier in my life. They wanted him out of their lives so bad, but he's a good bird and he likes to play. He plays well with kids. Um, but he is territorial about his cage and he messes with the minds of adults. So he can give you a scare, just a stare, look at you in the face, and that look can be enough to melt somebody. I had a lady over who wanted to be who was talking about going to school to be a veterinarian. She was taking some of the biology classes to prepare for it. And she actually asked me to take him off of her. He was sitting on her arm, and all he was doing was looking at her, but the look he was giving her was enough to scare her. I said, "You'll have to do a little better than that to be an avian vet." So she just laughed and said, "Yeah, I have to learn with different types of personalities." I said, "Yeah, and they're all different." So, and he's he's had he's been sitting on the edge of a prolapse now for over 12 years. But Dr. Jenkins and I worked out that he needed more moisture in his diet. So for a while, I wasn't giving him any dry food. Now he gets dry food too, but he goes after the wet food because once they get used to it, he eats all of his wet food and then he goes into his dry food. So, but he has to be cleaned up twice a day because he leaks out his tail end, but he hasn't prolapsed. So he gets on. As long as he can get out for a half hour a day, he's he's fine in the aviary, but he just doesn't do well in here. He wants to take over the couch. That's his whole thing. So, and nobody else is allowed on it. And then he'll just run and chase after a bird, and somebody's going to get hurt. So, but he's happy as long as he gets out by himself for a half hour a day, gets to play with me. He's okay with it.
Hmm.
I
Well,
thought he
when
would
one
need
sees
more,
it
but
from the
hey, yeah,
perspective
yeah.
that the Babaloo Bob actually people called him to be dead at least 10 years ago. So I think he has doubled his lifespan now since when the prolapse was there, people thought, yeah, well, maybe 2 more years or so, and now it's I think 12 or something like that. So that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is not. It's not to be believed. Dr. Jenkins was happy to see that the change in diet put him where it did. You need to calm down, little girl.
Then we have discussion here in chat when you told that Pippa liked you from the first moment she saw you, that this might be the same thing like when dog people or when dogs basically know that you are a dog person because they can smell the dog on you, that may be something similar if Pippa could somehow recognize that you are a bird person.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that she flew over to me and put her wings on my chest. That's all I know. Am I messing with you? I am. I'm sorry. I want you to leave her alone till she calms down. Peace all. This is a bird that doesn't realize he can fly.
Yeah, that's Cecil.
And people always tell me, you don't want to teach him to fly. He can do it when he has to, but he doesn't realize that. All right, you guys, this is no Lorelei, Lorelei, calm down, calm down. No, no, no. Come here, come here. The hoops he goes through just to get from place to place, and then I just pick up Lorelei and I put her somewhere else. Ah, Lorelei, back over here. So you calm down. Hey, Snowball, you're wearing out now. You just don't want to go through all the runaround to get to over there. Yeah, I know how you are. That's called a motivating operation, by the way. I just ran him till he's like, okay, I'll give up. Not sure you're going to be helping there, Snowball. Mander had quite a few issues when he came here too. He's not in the room, but uh, he's just become real sensitive about being around other birds. But he has a twisted pelvis, so I put a picture up in there for the members. But so he has mobility issues and confidence issues based on that. Kind of like Rome has confidence issues because of his the feathers that the veterinarian killed the follicles on, so he can't fly terribly well. Mostly can fly to the floor, that kind of thing. There's a good breeze, 4 or 5 mile an hour breeze he could take off, which is one of those people don't things that people don't realize. When they get their birds clipped, they think that's going to save them, but if there's a breeze outside, they'll be able to fly even with the clipped wings. The problem is they won't be able to fly back to you because they can't control their flight. So don't buy the whole idea of clipping wings unless you have a bird that happens to be a gargoyle, and the first thing it's going to do is fly over and take your eyes out. I wouldn't suggest doing that. But yeah, Lorelei is running away from him. So you know you can get away from him, don't you? Yeah, you know that, right?
Does she?
Yeah. She flew over here. Once she calmed down, she flew over and flew to dad.
Rosebud says they are active today. What did Don feed them? Mm. Maybe it's just Cecil being into the room, but even before Cecil was in the room, um, Jasmine was active today, so I don't know.
No, they just died. There goes Jasmine again.
And welcome to Spirit Matter.
So Matter, I took him in to have X-rays, and the doctor did one X-ray, and then he did another 7 for free. He'd never seen anything like that before. So, and the best we can figure from the X-rays is that it either happened congenitally inside the egg, or it happened shortly after that his pelvis got twisted at a 90-degree angle. And this is another thing when you run a rescue or do a sanctuary, you're going to hear stories that aren't true. Like we were told that there were, X-rays had been done. Of course, we'd never seen them, and that he had a twisted spine. His spine is twisted, but that's not the point. It's the pelvis that's twisting the spine. So I've tried him on painkiller, meloxicam, Metacam, that kind of thing, and he doesn't show any change in his behavior. So whatever pain he feels, he's used to it. But he likes to get in a spot and sit there. He doesn't like to move around a lot. He will do some. He does a nice shuffle when he wants to, and he's excited. They were also having. He did some tricks that were pretty cool. The problem is with his back and his pelvis the way it is, you don't really want him doing things like sit ups, you know, or play dead where he has to pull himself up. So he doesn't actually do those behaviors anymore. Smart kid though. He knows all the veterinary behaviors. So opening the wings, opening the beak. It doesn't do well on flipping upside down, but that's because of his back. So it's not when you have to have that done, you just have to tell him because there's no way he's going to do that and feel good about it. But that's another reason why you have to analyze when you bring them in. You got to really look at their physical problems because I was shown some of the tricks that he did. Once I saw the X-rays, like he's not doing those tricks anymore, as it's not safe for his back. And the vet said that too, since you don't want to really stress that. So someone is playing with
But Giselle, the
teeth.
aunties actually have moved. Sometimes Jasmine is climbing up the pole and then coming down again. But I know they don't move not that much. So for
When
them it's quite much.
when she decides to move, though, she'll get over on that uh, timeout cage, and she'll just go around and around in circles up there, and then she'll flap and go around and around in circles, then she'll run around the ropes. That's Jazz. She has her moments when she gets busy.
Hmm.
Hi, Snowball. Hey, boy. You were thinking about going over to the carpet again? Uh, mm, yes, I was, and you started talking to me. It's funny about Bob. I mean, he's the kind of bird you can take to events and hey, let him hang out with kids and stuff, and that's not a problem. But you bring him in here and he's inside of his cage, and you take him out, and he's not going to be friendly to anybody who's in the immediate environment. So environment makes a big difference. You put him out in the aviary, he's fine. Oh, because sometimes he'll come up and nip at me a little bit, and it's his way of saying, "Why are you letting other birds on your lap?" That kind of thing. But he's just being territorial about me. But I'm the only one who's stuck with him all this time. Just when he gets mad at me, though, he yells Becca because she was the only one at the animal hospital that he really trusted. He could call Becca, and Becca would help him in a situation. So, hi, Cecil. Hi, Cecil. And Kazi, she's an umbrella. You don't see her often. I can take her out into the aviary, but in here she will attack pretty much anybody else who gets close to me. And she was kept in a cage. She was kept between a garage and a kitchen for 12 years. That's what I was told. And her and her sister, they learned to be barbers. one of the reasons they had to be separated is they tend to rip each other's feathers out, although they like to be next to each other. So you get them in a room, and the next thing you know, they're pulling each other's feathers out. And when a bird pulls another bird's feathers out, that is barbering. That is not feather destructive behavior. That's when they pull their own feathers out, plucking. I, I keep trying to reiterate that because the community is dead set on trying to call plucking barbering, but I've never gone to a barber and watched them cut their own hair. It just doesn't happen. Barbers don't cut their own hair. You don't go pay them and watch them cut their hair. So the term's getting twisted. That tends to happen with English, but any language really. Oh, we're overtime here now, so sorry guys. Sorry, it's time to go. Right, Snowball? Somebody want a last look at Cecil and Lorelai?
Look at these two cuties. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Cecil. Hi, Lorelai. Too bad you guys don't like me. Too bad you guys don't like me. Well,
Now they just sit
yeah.
on you like they sat on KK before.
Makes you feel like a piece of furniture. Yeah, it does.
Mm. Or
Kind of.
maybe just another umbrella.
Yeah. I always get a kick out of people when it's raining outside and say, I forgot my umbrella. I wouldn't take an umbrella out. Most of these birds don't like to be in the rain, but especially this one. Well, when it comes out of the sky, she's okay with it. But if I come up with a squirter, she doesn't like it. Do you? Even if it's a fine mist, you don't like it.
Mm. Then she sits in her sulk corner and puts her wings out so she tries faster.
Well, thanks for coming. Thanks, Amy, for moderating. And I remind everybody we do have merchandise and we have the link on our link tree for the merchandise: hats, shirts, cups, greeting cards, all kinds of stuff, blankets, towels. All right. And we'll see you on Wednesday if I don't flood the building. I have to fix a leak outside. So it's a ball valve going to the yard where don't water any plants out there, but there used to be some trees and things that they would water. So whoever's replaced that ball valve so many times, I'm not sure there's any pipe I can attach to. So if you hear about a flood somewhere in the desert, that's probably me. We'll see you on Wednesday, folks. Thanks for being here. You got last words up there?